Money.
Ooh, I see. I just go get the little barefoot.
Hey,
$9.
but listen though, let me
Barefoot
tell you. Let me tell you something. That is only $10.
Well, wine
And they
is
serve
cheap
it. They
anyways,
serve it at
right?
no, but they serve this one at Olive Garden. It means something, and it tastes really good.
Okay,
Yeah.
time out.
It means something.
I have never heard.
They got wine at Olive Garden?
Yes,
sure
man, what you mean, bro?
What?
Unlimited breadsticks and
Italian.
wine, baby.
Bro, I
What you talking
don't
about?
go to Olive Garden. I go
Listen,
down the street to
he said they
Wendy's.
serve this at.
Niggas, motherfucker slipping.
All right, so all y'all gotta do is make sure y'all accept that. All right,
Continue.
and we get ready to start. 3, 2, 1. What's good, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever you want to go. I appreciate you guys for clicking on the video and stopping by and seeing Inside the Chat, the podcast. I definitely want to give a big shout out to our special guest, Ms. Bre Trudell. Everybody give a little
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. I also give a shout out to my boy Nick and KB, Fort Wayne and Detroit, if you whatever you from it, whatever. Stand up. Basically, we're gonna definitely go into basically trying to get to know Bre and pick her brain a little bit. And obviously we got some questions when it comes to relationship, because finally we have a female's point of view instead of us just dominating everything when it comes to our point of views as guys. Now we have a female's perspective on certain questions that maybe we've needed in our podcast. So first things first, basically how about you tell us about yourself, Bre?
I feel like I'm in an interview. Literally.
That's the point.
I guess I do better with questions. So what would you like to know?
So what did you go to school for?
I went to school for accounting and finance.
Is that originally what you went, like, did you go into knowing that that's what you wanted to do?
I was one of those rare kids that literally knew that that's what I wanted to do. And then when I went for a tour at Olivet, I ended up meeting my actual professors, Dr. Homer, Renee Smith, and they literally sat down and had me do a 4-year plan, and I hadn't even accepted going to the school yet. So there was that. And they wrote out my whole 4 years, and I ended up coming to the school, and I stuck with that major the whole time, got my major in it, and graduated in 4 years.
Is that what sold you to go to Olivet, knowing your 4-year plan?
I actually was recruited there for basketball. So that's the only reason why I even knew about it. Olivet is literally in the middle of nowhere. So I think for a lot of people, unless they grew up maybe in the Charlotte area or the Lansing area, nobody really knows too much about it unless you went there for a sport. So I was recruited there. That's why I went on the tour. But then just the campus in general, and then meeting the professors and just the class sizes is what really sold me, other than the basketball team. But
was it a shooter or you had the handles like AI? Which one?
both.
Oh, here we go.
She was Steph Curry with the
both.
rock. Crazy.
Yeah.
So were you involved in anything else at Olivet other than basketball?
Yeah, a lot. I was in like a student accounting group. I was a tutor for English and accounting. I was the gym manager there for IM Sports. Then I'm in a sorority there. That's just on campus, but New Gamma Xi. I was the president there for 2 years. And then the, what is it called? It's kind of basically like the accountant for the sorority after that. What else? I think that's it.
So what are you doing? Like once you graduated, what was the next step for Bre? Like what once you crossed the stage, everyone's cheering, what was going through your mind of your next steps?
So the crazy part is I'm like, I've always been like way ahead of everyone, I think, just ahead of the game. And I actually already had a job before I even graduated that was waiting for me in Lansing. I was working with Mike Oyster, who was like a marketing or like business management teacher or something like that there. And he ended up getting me hooked up with a couple people in Lansing, and I had some interviews in early, I think it was the spring of 2015, like right before I graduated, and I ended up getting a second interview, getting the job, and my start date was June 1st. So we graduated like May 15th, and literally after I like walked across the stage, I went with some of my family members to dinner, and then they all took me to my apartment and left me there by myself.
And life,
and I literally was,
and life
I literally was just sitting there like, oh my God. Like I'm typically okay. Like I know, like I'm always that person like, okay, let's do this. But in that moment, I was like, damn, like, is this really what it is? Like all I had was my futon from my dorm room, my TV on the floor, and then some pots and pans and some silverware.
So
I
you
didn't
was
have no
basic.
food in
You
the
was
crib.
ba-
I didn't have no bed, no dresser.
Hey,
My
you was
clothes
living
was
like
on
a
the
single
floor.
man.
Sitting
Man,
there.
look,
just
I
with
had
the
I
bare
had my
essentials.
security deposit paid, my first month rent paid. I had a job. The rest would come. Like I had what I needed, so I knew I had to figure the rest out. But it was scary. Like I had it all ready though. Like most people do not find a job after college for years, sometimes sadly,
Yeah,
in
for
their
sure.
major especially. So I had it all together, and I was really proud of myself. But it's like all that shit. Sorry, all that stuff hit at one time, and
You
it was
good.
just real, like really real in that moment.
Were you ready for adulthood, like living on your own, paying all your bills and all that?
Yeah, sadly, I had to grow up really fast, which I guess is not like now that I'm older, I'm glad because it helped me get more prepared. But I was paying my own bills since I was like 14, 15. So
Wow.
I kind of had all of that under wraps. That really wasn't the hard part. And more so, the hard part was like adulting is weird in a sense of it gets boring with the routine, but you're making money that you ain't never had before. So it's like
Yeah.
remembering in the beginning of all of it, like, yeah, I was used to paying bills, but I wasn't used to making money like that. So
Yeah.
remembering to keep money aside to pay this bill, to pay that bill, what kind of money do you have left to do things with, like learning to budget. So
The difference
Exactly.
between living paycheck to paycheck versus actually
man, and I ain't gonna hold
making
you up.
money.
I was living paycheck to paycheck
Yeah.
for like the first year because I just wasn't getting it. I wasn't getting it at all.
So where do you work now? Like what are you doing now? Work wise.
I work for, I don't know where to put I don't ever put the name out there, but I work for a commercial real estate company, like the biggest one in Lansing. I'm the head accountant there. So that's what I do now.
There you go. So with this, Keegan, you had one?
No, I was that's impressive. Crazy.
So with this True Talk podcast.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me what inspired the name of True? Obviously Trudell, but I know there's a deeper meaning behind the name True Talk podcast.
Yeah. So I started the podcast in January, and it literally just started with Facebook Lives. And I did that through May. And then I kind of took time off from May until maybe a couple weeks ago. Because I had gotten sick, and then I had to take time to recover, and then I had to take some time to just kind of grind it out and get all the equipment because I really wanted to change platforms. I really wanted to be like on Apple and Spotify. So I just took some time out for myself to get it all together. But the podcast original name was the Be True podcast show. And it literally, I had to give it a name because I'm like, I've always wanted to do a podcast for like the last 3 or 4 years. I've been talking about it. I just never did it. So in January, it was like a New Year resolution, like you're going to do it. So when I did it, I'm like, well, I got to call it something. So I'm like, let me just call it this for now. Like Be True is literally my Twitter name, Instagram name. And it's because like these guys gave me the little nickname when I was in high school. It's so stupid. Like back home in Saginaw, like you had like these guys called the Hood Star Boys, and they called themselves like J-Rock and D Snow and all this stuff. And they used to be like True when they see me, like Be True with whatever. So I made that like my username for a lot of different things. So I just called it that, but it kind of flowed for the time being. But I was on I think I was on a trip somewhere, maybe to Detroit. And I don't really know where True Talk came from. I was just driving, and I think I seen a billboard, and it said True something. And I'm like, True Talk. And I just kept saying it to myself the whole way home. And I'm like, I low-key like that. Like that's kind of got a ring to it. And I'm like, and I'm still incorporating my last name. I incorporate my last name because True, like Trudell and then True, like a lot of my shows, like something I weigh in heavily is that I'm always just speaking the truth on stuff, whether people like it or not. And like I've always just been a real ass person. Cuss again, I'm sorry.
You're good. Stop.
I've
You're good.
always
You're
been
good.
a
No, you're good.
real person, and I've always just talked the real. So true, I always wanted to make sure it was in there some kind of way. But True Talk literally just probably came from a billboard. I don't know whose billboard that was. And it didn't say True Talk, but I kind of got the true part from it. So shout out to whoever's billboard that was, because they helped inspire the name.
Trust me, picking a name for something. When me and Nick was, it was a lot of
it's like
names.
it's not as easy as you think it is. Like you'll come up with something and then you'll think it's cool and then you'll sit on it and like, no, that's not cool.
Yeah, we had a lot of trials with the initials and trying to do Nick and Thomas.
So
and
where did Inside the Chat come from?
And we had a long list at first, and a lot of our stuff that we liked was already taken, so we had to cancel those out.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was what was the one you came up with? A really good one.
I don't remember anymore.
Yeah, it was a lot of good ones, and like when it comes to it, like you want to obviously like we'll come up with a good one, like oh that's it, and then you got to make sure you do the research and make sure no one else is already using it or already like got their stuff off the ground and like actually blowing up with it. So it's like once we came up with 2 of them and they were already being used, and we're like so then like we knew once we're already in a group chat, like this was a thing before. But like obviously a guy's group chat, same thing as a female's group chat. The stuff that goes down in the group chat be on a different level. Yeah, exactly. So
classics.
Like, so whatever you say in real life, whatever to the girl, you just got done hanging out with a girl. Same thing, vice versa. The girl goes to her group chat, tells her girls same thing. The guy go back and say, "Yep, it was trash" or something like that. Like it just be like that. So like once we wanted to incorporate that in the overall name, but trying to find something catchy, something that's short, not too long, something that can obviously be implemented in a lot of other things. So Inside the Chat kind of made
it's
more
dope.
sense.
I really like it.
Yeah.
It's like it makes you interested like immediately. Because right when I seen it, I had a feeling that that's what you meant is like inside a guy's group chat. And I'm like, that's got to be a legendary chat. Because I know me and my girls, our group chat could probably go down in history as one of the funniest things ever. So I can only imagine.
Especially with all the topics we be having, like every day you wake up is like, man, did he really say that?
Yeah. all you got to do is put one meme the second you wake up, and everybody in the chat like either they woke up crazy. If they woke up on the wrong side of the bed or the good side of the bed, someone's gonna comment and say something off the wall, and then you always got that one person in the group chat that's not good at defending themselves.
Lily.
Be pushing.
So we just attack the person, and then all of a sudden he may have a good joke back, and then even if he has a good joke, everyone in the group chat knows to not laugh at that joke to keep him at the bottom. Like so that's a lot. I mean, the group chat overall, like it's grown overall, like I think as a culture thing for a lot of other people. Like a lot of people use group chats and then now with how strong podcasts are starting to come up, that's what all you hear in is conversations that normally happen in group chats. Now it's guys talking to females about the controversial stuff, so it's good. So what do you, I mean, other than talking?
Gary, turn your mic down, dude.
Is it loud?
You just got super loud.
Oh, my bad.
Did anybody else have a problem?
It's on 40%.
I think because I got AirPods in and now my actual studio headphones, I can't hear it as well as you probably.
Oh, I was about to say, you just got super loud on that part.
On just that last part?
Yeah.
Now it's great.
Oh, good. So we're good. All right.
Let me just, you go. I'm just going
to. He's going to turn you down.
Yeah.
All right. So any other, you guys got anything when it comes to her?
How did,
the podcast part?
If you don't, the podcast part?
Yeah. All this can be edited too. It's fine.
Sure.
No, I like the name.
I love the name. The name is dope as well.
Thank you. I
So
was definitely nervous. I didn't know how people were going to feel about that.
So, like, what type of like stuff do you cover on the True Talk? Do you guys talk about like just topics about general topics, like global topics, or is it more of like a inside the group chat, like art kind of thing, or like what's going on with that?
So no, it's not like inside the group chat. It's just me. I have guests on sometimes to talk about things that they might be more knowledgeable than me on, but mostly like a lot of relationship stuff, like whether it's like platonic, romantic, friendship, business relationships, just the stuff that happens in between them, things that you deal with, like, can you be friend, like, can you let your partner be friends with the opposite sex or something like that? Like, I talk about stuff like that, like how, like, the things that we all kind of go through with our partners, and like you be wanting some advice from somebody else. Because I know sometimes with guys, what I've realized when I was doing my live shows is I had a lot of guys coming on there to get advice because they didn't have girls to really reach out to like know the other side. So stuff like that. I talk about everything though, like every topic you can imagine, self-healing, empowerment, development, and just like kind of self-care, but mostly just relationship stuff more than anything else, and like relationships with yourself. And I kind of do shows sometimes that's just motivation for people, and just keeping people like mentally sane. I mean, I'm like a really calm person. So sometimes I'll just do episodes where it's just like something that you can like turn on and just listen to kind of calm yourself down. So
I like how you said guys can like come on the podcast and like vent.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of guys hold their emotions back because they don't want to be soft or emotional.
And I try to change that narrative. Like that's a part that's in my description, is like, let's change the narrative, because I'm all about, like, I don't like that some women, even over time, like we've made men feel like they can't express their emotions and they can't vent. So I'm all for it. I used to love when guys would come on there and ask stuff, and I'm like, yes, ask more, because I know that you don't always get the other side. Like, you don't get to ask these questions. You just have to assume or just roll with things or keep messing up and learning. Like, at least you got a woman, not saying that everything I say is right, but you have a woman's perspective that'll answer any of it.
Unbiased one. Like, because you can try to have that conversation with your female.
I think it's great to have somebody of the opposite sex that'll just always keep it real with you. Even if you're right or wrong, they'll just let you know. Because we got a lot of yes men, yes 100%. Women. They'll just tell you what you want to hear, and it's not going to help the situation.
Exactly. And that's, I love it because it's so unbiased. Like, any random person, like I had a lot of guys messaging me after the show, like, I really like your show. Can you, like, let me know what you think about this? And I'm like, I don't know you at all. I don't know your girl. I don't know your position, but like, here's what I think, and I'm gonna tell you if I feel like you're tripping, or I feel like you're wrong, or if I feel like it's her, or if y'all just need to talk through it. Like, I have no problem telling you, but obviously I'm super respectful about it. But some people don't have the best friends in their life that are gonna tell them that, like, and that's sad. Like, I really wish, I hope everybody finds a good friend that'll tell them that stuff, but some people don't. So think of me as like that random friend out there. Like, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I'm glad that's with our friend group though. We keep it real. It's like, if Gary called me about a situation, I'll tell him like, man, you was wrong or you were right. Like, same thing with Keegan. A lot of with anybody.
That's dope.
What's surprising about Nick is he is like, as much as like he tries to make it seem like he be trying to act like super, he is laid back, but like I'll come to him about almost anything nowadays, right? And like he is actually supportive, like when it comes down to it. And then like what you said, actually give me real feedback instead of just like all the time like saying, oh yeah, you're right type thing, whatever. And like, Bre, you give me advice on a lot of things too. Like, I've called you and like text you and asked you just like straight up, I need your advice on this. Long paragraph, what do you think? And then you long paragraph back in a respectful
I mean, and you
manner.
know me, like I ask a lot of questions too, because I need to understand the full story
topic,
before I give.
You gotta know everything.
Exactly.
Every detail.
Yes.
And it's sad because you do run into a lot of people who, instead of them just understanding that you're coming to them to either vent or like ask for a genuine opinion back, they either put their like, not twist on it, but like it's not 100% genuine, because it's either they're trying to benefit from it. Say if a female is like talking to a guy about and actually trying to ask a question, sometimes that guy might be trying to get with that female, so now he's twisting the overall narrative, to
make it for him a little better,
make it seem like he either know exactly what he's talking about, or to try to twist her mind around it.
I love you. That was me. Like,
this dude know what he's talking about, or I wish my boyfriend thought like how he thinks, type thing. Like, and I feel like some females, more guys than the girl. I think guys do a lot of more of that mind game, honestly, when it comes to being slick. Females, guys
just sitting there like this.
You'll be surprised, girls do it too.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And that's the thing. Like, it's like no one knows that part though. Like, it's.
I mean, they're not. I would say guys are a lot more forward about it. Girls are. Let's just be honest. Girls are a little bit more smoother than guys and just slicker, and that's not a good thing. But they are. So when girls do that, they're so slick with it, you don't even know you over here getting finessed. with the advice. Like, you don't even know, but they definitely do, especially if they really like a guy. They've been kind of having their eye on him for a long time. And especially the girls who have guy friends that they like start to like or catch feelings for, and they really want that dude to be done with this girl he keeps coming to me about. Like, girls will do the same thing.
Have you done that? Like, you kept a little note in the
Absolutely
back of
not.
your head? Never?
Absolutely not. No, I don't believe in that. I think that's really wrong. And I've had somebody do that to me, and I called them out on it because it was making me upset.
Yeah.
Like, I could just, I don't know. I just can read people very well. And after a while, I'm just like, okay, I keep coming to you for advice, but I feel like everything I'm coming to you about is like, you're pushing all of it into one area where it's benefiting you. And I'm like, no.
And that's what I'm saying. That's good that you can read that, because a lot of females will fall for that, like that, you know, yeah, oh yeah, I got you. Yeah, that's crazy how he did you like that. Like, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. All you hear is
that's crazy.
That's crazy.
I would never.
I ain't never seen it. Oh, he tripping. You know, you deserve better
bro,
than that.
Horrible. He tweaking.
Yeah,
right
and
now.
that's the thing. So like, but the thing that annoys it is that, like, say I'm like, you would tell your girl that and tell them that guy is like trying to get at you or like waiting for me to mess up, and they won't believe it. Like, they was just in their mind so like past the fact of like another guy who's been your friend for a while is waiting for his, you know, his chance type thing.
Because we know like, yeah, Keegan trying to get on my girl. We can tell by the vibe type. Not just for example.
I was gonna say, like,
my
do y'all
guy.
be knowing
like, we
that?
most definitely know, and we know.
We know.
No, we know.
Okay, I was gonna
1,000%.
say, because I dealt with that in college, and like literally when I broke up with this dude that I was with for a couple of years, like everybody, all of his friends was just waiting. And I'm like, do y'all be knowing this? Like, do y'all be knowing y'all friends just be on the sidelines just waiting for you to mess up because they know you've been messing up and
waiting for the coach to call you in.
Exactly.
That's so crazy to me.
Talk about looking down the bench. Like, hold on. Come on now.
Bro,
I see you.
I had one of my friends in college hit my girl up while I was still together with her.
Oh, that's not okay.
I was like, hey, yo, my G, like, you're not doing, we're not doing this right now. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's not
right
cool.
now, baby. You wilding. But that's crazy.
So okay, so
That's crazy.
That's the main thing.
Crazy.
That's crazy. So one of our big topics on the last show that we had was, have you watched Baby Boy 1? Obviously, yeah, right.
All right, come on now.
So in this last one, we were saying, obviously, when it comes to cheating, I feel like there's levels to cheating.
Yeah.
Cheating is wrong overall.
Yes,
But
no matter what level.
See, Gary a cheater. That's the problem. He got a different mindset. Gary be cheating out here.
Listen,
I
Don't
mean,
edit
we're
it
gonna
out.
have to talk about this because I don't know if I agree with like
Only reason I'm
wording
saying
it
is
as
levels.
levels.
So look,
You know the
I'll
episode, the
explain.
part
Yeah.
we talking about?
Yeah, I do.
I'll
When he went
explain.
over to her house.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
say if that's your boyfriend, right? And one, you hear it from somebody else saying that he was over there. One, you think that he cheated. But if you actually watched him say everything he said and you watched him do what he did, he like, and everything in the
he
like,
went in the house,
over
he
there.
sat down.
So
She
definitely,
tried it, and then he's like, you know what, nah, like.
and then he said, no, that you just want to mess up. I ain't even like that. I love her. Like he was saying, like, I love her. Like
But here's my
tripping.
problem. Here's
Yeah.
my problem. You knew why you went over there, and you knew what she was about when you went
he
over
sat
there.
down like this.
You had a moment though where you just woke up, and I appreciate that, but you still went over there knowing what was gonna go down.
Is this
Right.
a forgivable offense? If you watched it happen, like you saw him like go after you, like if you knew the overall story, like he went over there and you don't know exactly what happened.
But you know why
actually-
she went over there though.
Yeah,
It was only
100%.
one
He
reason.
went over there.
I'm not
That's what
saying.
I'm saying.
First of all,
So
I'm
you
not.
know-
They weren't
Jody
trying to
is
color
wrong.
books
He
and
is
stuff
wrong
like this.
100%.
They were finna watch that NBA draft. You know what
100%.
They knew what they was
100%
doing.
He is wrong. But I'm saying if you actually got a chance to watch his reaction and watch the way he talked about you and did that, like Jody's wrong 100%. But the way he talked about you and said like, that's my girl, like all that type. Because you want one, Yvette was crazy too, like in her ways.
Yes, they had a toxic relationship.
Exactly.
An
So
open
I
relationship.
guarantee
think-
you,
Very toxic.
Yvette took
It's
him
hard
back
for
and
me to
didn't even
answer
know what
that
happened.
because for them, their relationship was already shaky, you know, and I think that she already knew like he had cheated in the past. They had already
Yeah.
dealt with that. So you know what kind of guy he is. So
you
I
can,
guess
yeah.
in her situation, to see him do that is kind of a step up because he didn't already cheated. So at least if you didn't took him back them other times, at least now you can see like he's starting, like, yes, he went over there, but at least he's starting to have the right mind. Like, this is wrong.
And she
like-
was bad.
And so, not really though, not them cornrows like that. They had her forehead
I
all the
wasn't
way
even
pushed
looking
back.
at the cornrows.
She couldn't even
look at the
blink.
rolls.
She couldn't even
boys,
blink.
now
She was
when
like,
you go back and rewatch
watching
it,
the
you gonna
video.
look at nothing but the
I know,
forehead.
but see,
I'm
that's
telling
what
you.
I don't
That
want
was
you. See,
tight.
you didn't have to do that.
Hey,
I'm
but Gary,
sorry.
you missing a big point. He
Yeah.
got some head for a few seconds.
And that's the
Bro,
thing is that I was gonna touch on is they should have edited version on BT. We all know
The
Yeah, I'm
BET
talking about the
versions
edited
are
version.
terrible.
she definitely, a little
Yeah.
bit. And then he was like, you know what? No. So for me, I'm sorry, but I would probably after yelling be like, I appreciate that you finally got your stuff
But I'm
together,
done.
but I'm good because
Yeah.
you still made the decision to go. Why? You know what I'm saying? Especially if
Does-
I know I'm being a good woman. I can't put myself in her shoes because I'm not that type of person. But if that was me and I'm a good girlfriend and you still do that, like it's the fact that you went, it's the fact that you even had the mindset to mess around with that at all. You shouldn't have been over there at all. You should have never came in, like pulled into her parking lot, into her
Yeah.
driveway.
Hey,
So
I watched it earlier, and like Jody was trying so hard. He said, I ain't even got no condoms. And then she put it right up to his ear.
Yeah, he going down.
Up to his ear.
Going-
So
Yeah,
my thing is like,
Don't worry about it.
you can say he did, he got it together, but he mentally cheated.
Oh, 100%.
So
But
no,
now,
it's a
is
no
it
for
meant
me.
to-
No
is it-
buts,
it-
man.
No, not
No.
It's a no
overall.
for me.
I'm not saying he's right. I'm just saying like what you said. It's in Yvette's eyes, there was a mental growth in him also. Like when he made.
Yeah,
the
that's what I'm
decision.
saying. Like,
Yeah.
like in their particular relationship, he did make a step up by actually leaving and not letting it go any further.
Yeah.
Because in the past, it seems like he did. So I guess for
Mhm.
her and for their relationship, that's a step up. But if that, for me,
Yeah.
for that to be a step
any
up,
other
that's a sad relationship.
That's
You
a
shouldn't even be
terrible
doing that.
relationship,
Yeah,
yeah.
like you let it get that
They
way, so
also
you can't
ended
even
really
be mad.
happy. I
But
mean,
but it was probably in her car because he didn't even have a car in the first place.
Which
Oh,
is
yeah.
wild. Which is
Which is
wild.
he
You
went
pulled
over
up
in
to
her
another
car.
girl's house in her car.
but
grown
he paid
ass
for
man with
everything.
no car.
And
He
sh-
paid
and
for
then-
everything.
Man,
And
he
then
paid
what
for
made
that
it
weak
worse
ass
is
meal.
they worked together. Oh no.
That's
They
why.
did work
But the
together.
crazy
Oh
thing,
my-
look, but the
No.
crazy thing
In the-
is
all- in
that's
the
why he
same
didn't
space.
really do it. He said, "Man, you work with my girl."
Exactly
man,
though.
that's
So
foul."
my thing is what would have happened if she didn't
if
work
she was
with
just
her?
a random chick.
He would have let it happen.
Oh, but hold on. Did you see what he do after he showed up the next day when he picked her up from work?
He
hit her
was
with
mean
the-
mugging.
He hit her with the tongue out like you ain't get no daddy.
Shit, he was probably still cheating with that. He was flirting.
Probably.
was, bro.
No,
So no,
but
it's
it was
a no for
entertaining.
me. It's
It gotta be a no.
That's funny. Oh, 100%. I am down with you. I'm just being the other side, like just
The devil's
letting
advocate
y'all know,
type
like,
Yeah,
I
I
feel,
understand.
I feel what you're saying. I
You
feel
being the
what
bad shoulder.
Come on, man. Just do it, man.
Just do it, man. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit, man. It's okay.
like you ain't wrong, man. Don't worry about it. She ain't gonna know.
Ain't nobody gonna find it.
And that's what she
Say
said.
that.
She said you can keep it. Look, you gotta keep this between you and me.
Hey,
All right.
I guarantee if he did the next day, she should have been in the cubicle talking. Hey, you know me and Jody did yesterday. Boy, what? Over with.
And that's what you got to know is girls are petty. Girls don't hold no water, especially when it comes to like two girls and one guy. Like it's women are extremely petty.
Put your whole situation on blast.
All right, Keegan, you got one, or because I got another one, but you can ask one of yours if you want.
Well, would you rather?
Just yeah, would you rather? Yeah, do it. Would you rather?
Yeah, do
then
it.
I
Would
gotta-
you
yeah,
rather if I can
yeah.
argue?
All right,
Come on, Keegan. I text you earlier. You're supposed to have this.
shut up, man. Yeah. I'm trying to work with it. All right.
Also, we're doing a good job. I like the way this is going.
All right. Since we're on the topic
Shut
of relationships, never mind. Actually, that's a little bit too grim.
Oh my goodness.
All
Just
right.
ask.
Would you rather put a stop to war or a stop to world hunger?
Stop to like war,
War, which is war in general.
or stop to world hunger?
To world
Hunger.
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 But you gotta like put the description why though. Like, you
I
can't
don't
hunger.
I feel like there's a deeper thing to
Hunger.
like if you stop
that's it.
war. Like I feel like
For me, I don't like seeing people hungry and I don't like
Yeah.
seeing people homeless.
you like
so-
people fight.
I don't ever have to really see it.
No, I'm saying,
That's-
but if you-
we don't
Yeah,
see
yeah,
it. We don't
yeah.
see it. We be
So-
chilling.
That's
Like, we don't
I
really
I
see
honestly
bombings
don't
and
like
stuff.
what it's done
Yeah,
to
nah.
people though. Like seeing the vets and stuff and what happens to them later and the PTSD is just as bad. So I don't know. I can't pick because I don't want any of that stuff to happen.
But if you listen, if you take
But, like, the
war
hunger,
away,
bro,
are
like-
they
like,
taking
look,
more
seeing
food
little
out of people that's
kids-
hungry.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna do it.
I just
me,
think that
for
hunger
me personally,
affects
it's hunger.
a lot more people. So
Deeper.
I'm gonna do
Yeah.
the hunger.
I don't agree with that. I feel like the war does because I don't look. Only reason I feel like the war does because like the PTSD, like the after effects of, you know, now you affecting the whole family. Now he comes back PTSD or she comes back PTSD from war. Now your dad's not the same or your granddad's not the same. He's not as fun. He's triggered to certain things, whatever. And now that's a family. Yeah, now that's a family type of thing that, you know, and normally when it comes to the army, it's a family thing anyway. So now like everyone
I don't see the point of war anyway.
Yeah, so like everyone that you see, like your dad is in war, so you're probably gonna be in war, and it's or at least one of your kids is gonna probably follow in the footsteps. So if that wasn't even a thing, now we're taking PTSD and almost cutting that 75% out the window.
What if my whole family hungry, Gary? Huh?
But I mean, like,
a bite to eat.
No, for real though, Gary Bear. Like,
but you know, I guess if you think about it, like a lot of the people that have PTSD never, ever, ever get the help. At least people who are hungry can somehow find, you know, like a soup kitchen or like, you know,
a homeless shelter. Or
some like there's at least some help out there for that. There is no help for these people who have PTSD. Like they just go crazy.
Yeah.
So
like
maybe
dying from shooting yourself or committing suicide, like in a general way, like committing suicide. I had to say shooting. Committing suicide versus dying from being hungry. I think the people who commit suicide on a higher rate than people that die from starvation. I think. Don't quote me on it, but I think that's from my experience, at least in the United States. In the United States, that definitely happens. In other countries, maybe world hunger is a lot more, you know, swayed on the other
end. There's a lot of hungry people.
But I feel like in the United States, we don't have we definitely don't have a situation where world hunger.
But it's not even just like homeless people that's hungry, Gary. Even just like if I don't got food in my cabinet, stuff like that.
Hey man, you gotta all I know is that when we got a box of cereal, you better not leave it open overnight. You better close that box. That's what I was taught. First of the month, you go to make.
We're not talking about that type of hungry, though. We talking about like.
I thought we talking about actually not even having that
spare change type hungry. Like you need to go for $1 to get the burger.
But see, that's different though. That's unemployment almost too.
What?
A homeless person. If a homeless person got a job, then he can
feed himself.
He's homeless for a reason. He can't get a job. What do you?
Why can't he get a job? I don't know.
I've never been homeless. I don't know, Gary.
But I'm saying, like, when I think of world hunger, I'm thinking other worlds. Like, I mean, not other world, other countries.
Other countries, yeah. I'm thinking about that too.
Not having the resources to feed the.
And there's a lot of them. Yeah, there's so many hungry kids everywhere. Crazy.
I'm thinking about the kids, bro. I can't see the little kids hungry.
Me too. And I just feel like war. You know, mostly there's a lot of women, you know, in there too, but mostly men, and at least in 18 and up. And it's like, I feel like hunger affects all ages. Yeah. So for me, it's like, which one affects more? I don't know, people. But I just,
which one is hurting more? Hunger. Yeah, I gotta agree.
I don't like war either, though. I wish you could get rid of that too.
I feel like this is a lose-lose.
It is.
Well, that's the whole point of a would you rather. Like,
it's really hard.
Both of them. I mean, you can say it's positives and negatives for both, honestly. Yeah, for sure. In my opinion, I'm definitely going with war because I think it affects more people than the war hunger.
I think all three of us are going with hunger, so you're out.
Which is, I mean, that's fine. 3-1. People in the comment section, you let us know in the comments, or and let us know which one would you go with. Either
probably gonna get so much backlash for people who are in the war. I'm sorry.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Whether that's stopping war. Now you got to think. Look, now you got to think of all the women that like the single moms or the wives that have to wait. And now they.
And I totally understand. Yeah. If it makes you guys feel any better, I really am in the middle.
There's no, but at the end of the day, the would you rather is not a win-win anyways. Like it's kind of just us giving our opinion on it. So I hope no one takes what we're talking about
to heart.
Yeah, and at the end of the day too, I do want to give a disclaimer again. Like I know we didn't do it in the beginning. This does trigger anybody that's watching anything like that. It's not meant to trigger anybody. We're just
here giving our opinions.
Our opinion on it. We don't want to trigger anybody or anything like that. So
we're here to do nothing like that. Nothing of the sort.
Bre, I see you sipping on something. What you drinking over there? Wine?
I'm drinking. Yeah, I'm drinking wine.
Is it Moscato?
It says my name on there. It's Ruscato. It's a sweet. Yeah.
I don't know nothing about it. It costs money.
When it comes to taking on a first date, is that
I mean, it's not bad.
Okay, that is a great question. What is a good first date for you?
That's a great thing.
Because I always see on social media like the price doesn't matter. Like you could just go.
It's a first date.
Something.
I see the opposite.
For me, it doesn't. It's more of the thought, and I would hope that. I mean, I guess I don't know. Like dating is so weird anymore, but I would hope like you would maybe want to see some of my interests before you ask me on an official date, so you can kind of know.
Pick a date that,
like yeah. Like for me, I would go to the arcade. We can go play basketball. Like and get some food. We can get some pizza. Like I'm extremely chill. I really just like quality time. Like for me, like the perfect date is just you actually paying attention to what I'm saying and not being on your phone the whole time, not being weird, like being present.
So that's a big turnoff. Like not knowing.
I mean, I understand having to answer your phone and stuff, and like maybe we didn't get to talk that much, like for you to know me inside and out, obviously. But at least understanding that I'm super chill. Like if somebody took me to this like ritzy, super fancy, I want you to wear a dress and heels. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. Like that's not me. So that
at least on the first date.
That's something later. Like maybe we're celebrating because we maybe
6 months
make something official.
Anniversary time.
But on a first
so you
date,
like a Dave and Buster's type.
Yes.
Vibe.
Oh my gosh, okay. I love it there. Yes.
Okay.
Tokens.
Okay.
As long as there's food involved. There's got to be food involved. I like food.
So a movie first date would be terrible.
What if it's like your favorite movie? What if it's like one of your?
Because you can't talk.
Now, what if he?
If we did dinner before and then a movie, that's cool.
Okay.
But I prefer something that keeps me a little bit more active because I get sleepy really fast.
You sleep at the movies.
Yeah, I've fallen asleep.
Especially when they got the recliner chairs.
I was on a date in high school and I fell asleep. He took me to see Dark Knight and I was knocked out. So.
Whoa. Wait, I'm not mad that you fell asleep during Dark Knight. I'm just like, why would he take you to go see Dark Knight?
And he put us right in the front row and I was in that boy like this. And when I woke up, it was the very end. And I just looked at him. I'm like, I'm sorry, but this was a terrible first date. Like, no offense to him. Still love you and everything. Cool guy. But like, it was just like, not like, it was not the date for me. So.
All right. So, all right, I got a good question. All right.
Okay.
Good question. Do you believe in falling in love with more than one person at the same time?
Oh, is this for everybody?
Yeah. I mean, we just got to bring in everywhere for a good female perspective. Do you believe in falling in love with more than one person at the same time?
You talking about relationships?
No.
I'm talking about
relationships.
Say you in a relationship and you love the person you with, and you fall in love with somebody else, but you still love the person you with.
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
Because you wouldn't be in love with the first one.
No, but see, that's like, if it's absolute, why'd you make that reaction, Nick, earlier? If it's absolutely not, obviously it's something about that question that's not.
I always think super hard about some questions because I want to make sure I give like the most accurate answer. But honestly, no, I think you can fall in love with somebody and have a lot of love for somebody else. Like I really care about you. And like I think that happens with a lot of people is like maybe they were in a bad relationship, they finally let go. And then they found somebody really good for them and they're falling in love with them. But that other person might pop back up and it's like, I really care about you still. We went through a lot, but I'm in love with them. You know, like I think that can happen.
I love you and I have love for you.
Yes, that's most definitely.
Yeah.
See,
so I don't think you can be in love.
When y'all say this, only thing I think about, I know it's TV. I know, right? But I'm thinking, and this is the funny version of what I'm thinking, but like
you can say Twilight.
No.
I was about to say, let's not go there, please. But you know, that's actually a great example. That's a great example. She was in love with Edward, but she really cared about Jacob.
Exactly.
Is that the wolves? They wolves, right? I never said that.
Yeah. I was gonna say like the reality, like the Bachelorette or like the Flavor of Love situation.
You're talking about Flavor Flav, bro. Get out of here.
Well, I mean, that's more of like the Twilight's more of a movie, and I know obviously when it comes.
But
to like
in my opinion, at least that's a little bit more. Like,
I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking like she obviously had love for. If we want to do Twilight, let's do Twilight. She had love for Edward. I mean, she was in love with Edward, but it was something about Jacob.
She really cared about him.
But it depends on what movie we're talking about. Because she was tripping.
Movies are there?
She was.
There was a part where she there was a part where she was very attached to Jacob. Yes.
Yeah, when he had his shirt off that one time,
but
that one scene.
I think the third movie,
that's
she
not
finally
love, that's
realized.
lust.
What the overall,
she ended up realizing she was in love with Edward.
Happy ending.
I need another example.
I feel like you can't fall in love with somebody. Like once you're in love with somebody, I feel like if you entertain
nobody else matters
to make sure that you might fall in love with them or have a chance of that, then I don't know what you're doing. You wilding for.
But if you're in love, you're not even entertaining. Hold on, Gary Bear. If you're in love, you're not even entertaining nobody.
You're not even entertaining nobody. You literally sitting there like.
But that's the thing. Sometimes love can come up out of like you're not even trying to entertain nobody. You're not interested in nobody. But guess what? Somebody then popped up and messed up something.
But how you gonna love her through Instagram?
I don't know. This can be a coworker. This can be something that you work with, and you're not even trying. Like I'm not trying to tell y'all nothing. I'm just being the devil's advocate, like somebody that's showing y'all a different point of view.
But once again, though, like somebody's like, if that type of feeling surface, you gotta like really find whatever that is. That first of all, that makes that person that you're in love with originally, like why you're in love with them, and B, find something in yourself that's like, yo, why am I feeling these qualities for her? Like what's going on with me? Like you really gotta take a look at yourself.
Yeah, because I keep looking at all these reality shows and like
that's
where you fall in love with like
problem,
and you get
dude.
but you get these girls that sometimes they be like, I don't know who to choose, and I like not falling in love, but she likes
that's both. Because they not in love. Yeah. Women love really hard and become I wouldn't say attached in a bad way, but you just become extremely engrossed in that person. So I personally don't see how you can be in love with two different people.
I agree. I'm just letting y'all know what I was thinking.
Making
sure I'm giving y'all situations that not just make this a simple, like I don't think it's a simple answer one. And that's why I wanted to throw scenarios out there to kind of get you guys
definitely
thinking.
Probably scenarios where you like some people might be in love, but they really care about somebody else, and maybe that care is really strong and it's
like
coming
it's different
off.
Than being in love with like I think it was a big like what I felt like when it comes to love, like I feel like if you cannot explain like what Keegan said, like you don't know, you're not even in charge of nobody else, like but you can't explain
why, that's a fact. You don't see nobody else.
You don't see nobody else. Like you really can't even picture one be with somebody else, and then two, like you can't even truly wrap your head on exactly everything on why, like you just know that you do. Like, you know what I mean? It's just one of those like why you with her? Like you try, like you give examples, but at the end of the day, you sit back and think like, oh, she's just dope. I mean,
it's really just, everything it's always like, I don't know, I just love him.
It's just
she fits you like a puzzle, man.
Yeah, it's just there. Like,
she the one. She the one.
Dope. Like, I mean, everything about you to me is just like, it just fits. Like, and it's like trying to put a true definition on like what love is, I think is almost impossible. One, you can't, there's
people love asking that question, and I just be like,
there's no perfect answer for it either.
Do you think it's like what is it? The wrong lifetime? Like we meant to be together in a different lifetime. Can you see that?
I kind of can.
But I feel like you're just meant to be.
When you say lifetime or like say you met somebody 5 years later, like is that what you mean, lifetime, or like?
I mean, yeah, you can put it that way.
Deeper, man.
Like, you can put it that way.
I believe meeting somebody, but it's the wrong timing.
Yeah. Oh, you do?
I do, only because like I met somebody when I was maybe 5 or 6 years younger, and I was still in and out of toxic relationships and still didn't know myself completely and needed to do a lot of healing. And he was like very mature and very like he knew himself, and it's like he was everything obviously like a woman would want, but I wasn't ready for him. No. And I would have hurt. I probably would. Not cheating, of course, but I just would have hurt him because I wouldn't have known how to like be with him.
So right now, it would have been a better time.
Oh, extremely, yeah, way better.
Shout out to the dude that this is your time.
Yes, like there are.
It's your time to shine.
Shoot your shot, man. Shoot your shot.
All right.
I have a question though for you guys, real quick.
Okay.
How do men? It's always been so intriguing to me. It's like, how do you guys know that you're in love with somebody? Or that you really, really love a girl? Like, what is it for you? Do you get nervous around them? Do they make you feel different? They make you act different?
You just feel happy around them. Like anything they do, like they name pop up on your phone, you're like, okay, that's my baby girl right there. Like nothing else matters.
Look at y'all cheese over here.
I don't want to think. I mean, that's more of the
FaceTime ain't coming. Where?
Hey, that's how you know that something.
I know how Gary in love, because anytime we on the phone, he like recalling, click, like, damn, you can't say bye or nothing, bro.
What I've noticed, what I do is her name is Rhiannon, and I always say somebody's name and put her name in it every single time.
Rihanna.
I try to say Rihanna and I say Rhiannon, or like today it was somebody like your name is Brianna. Like I tried to say it, but I end up always saying or something like that.
She's just always on your mind.
Yeah. Or like today I was driving in the car and like someone on their bumper had a bumper sticker that said "Our Heart R," right? And her name is Rhiannon Renardi, and I have "Our Heart R" on as her name in my phone. You know what I mean? Like type thing. So it's like weird things like that happen, and like, why is that? Like, why did I pull right behind that car? Like, and it's like, I feel like you, like I said, you really can't explain other than just feeling like that person's like super dope to you. Like, I don't know. That's I always tell her, like, she's just dope. Like everything on like, do you love everything about the person?
No flaws at all.
Oh, no. I don't. I feel like everyone has flaws,
think so?
Whatever. And I feel like
when
you
don't
love
see
somebody
them as closely, like you block them out.
I don't think that's the point of like, I think you embrace it when it comes to the flaws when you love somebody, because you understand what they're not good at and they understand what you're not good at. And it's either you both trying to work to improve those. Would you overall erase everything? No, because that's not possible. No one's perfect. But it's certain things that you can live with, and then certain things that you can try to help improve in your partner, you know, when it comes to it, and accepting those flaws that they do have, and having a true conversation with the person. How do you want to be in the future? Do you like this part of yourself? Do you notice this part of yourself? Do you notice you do this? Do you know that you have these traits? Together. Yeah, and growing together, like accepting those. It's like a really big
part of a relationship that a lot of people miss.
Yeah, and accepting those conversations, realize that it's okay that we don't agree to certain things, but as long as you know my point of view,
you got to agree to disagree.
Yeah, and we can agree to disagree. Like everything that we talk about isn't gonna click. You have different interests. I have different interests. I like Dragon Ball Z. You ain't trying to watch it. That's 100% cool. You know, you ain't got to watch it with me. But every now and then, if you can surprise me and be like, all right, let's go watch that new movie that's coming out, whatever. And same thing, vice versa, because guess what? At the end of the day, I'm going to be surprised that you just said that. So I'm going to be even more hyped. I'm like, dang, like crazy. Same thing, vice versa. If I show a little interest into something that I told her I wasn't interested in, and all of a sudden I'm trying to show support to something that she likes. You know, whether that's certain type of sport, or like with you doing the podcast, if your significant other all of a sudden now is like promoting your podcast, or like trying to get on it and like giving you ideas, sending you random like podcasts, like tips, like YouTube stuff that they see, supportive, and saying those things, whatever that, and they're not even a podcast, they're not even into that stuff, whatever. They don't even listen to podcasts, but guess what? You're doing it, and they want to make sure that they're thinking about you. If they swiping through TikTok and they see TikTok that was funny on a podcast, they send it to you. You should talk about this. This was funny.
It's the little things, bro. The little things matter.
Yeah. So like, does it matter to you guys? Like, part of falling for a girl, like if she does a lot of things, like, you know how like when we were growing up, like dudes were always like, I just want somebody that's like my best friend that I can play the game with, I can go, you know, hoop with, I can do all these, you know, like sporty things with, and like a homeboy, but in a girl, like. Is that a thing still?
Like, I think in a little bit, but you gotta have the stuff that you like. Like you gotta have your own.
You can't be too clingy.
Yeah, I want you to. If we're dating, I need you to have your friends you still go out with, your girls' night. You still have your hobbies, because if we just together 24/7, I don't think it's gonna work, to be honest.
I'll piggyback off what Gary said. The whole interest thing, like if she's showing tiny interest, like, hey, let's go hoops or something like that. Or like, hey, let's play Call of Duty game together, something like that. That's cool. But like having a homie as a girl, like I like you can. That's not really a thing. Like I don't really mess with that.
Now what about?
See, that's nice to know, because I think a lot of girls think that. That's why I asked. Is like so that when this post, like women can see that. Like some girls think that that's still what guys really want, and I always wondered, like, is it like?
Yeah, nah. As long as you're so tiny interested in what I'm doing, I'm giddy. Oh, you want to play the game? let me set up the split screen.
Time to play the game. Like for real. But like, what if you guys both like, say if Nick, like you hoop, right? Say but if you find somebody else that like to hoop too, and also low-key in the anime, and low key play the game a little bit. Like, but you didn't meet her like that. Like you met her at a party
but she
or
did
something
on the
like
side?
that. And you just found out from talking to her like, oh yeah, I played 2K the other day or something like that, whatever. Or something like she sends you a link or she know you guys get to talking and she figured out that you like certain things and she's like, oh my God, I like that too. Are you ready for the next movie or something like that? Like, and
I mean, if we like the same interest, that's cool, but I don't want it to be forced.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. No, this is like I'm saying, like natural. Like she actually genuinely likes the certain things. So like it doesn't feel like you like.
And that's amazing. Then
I lucked up. What you mean?
Yeah. The right one.
So it's like not a bad thing. It's just as long as in general some type of little interest.
Yeah. If she actually genuinely likes the stuff, then it's natural and we can't complain. But if you can tell that she just don't have nothing else to do and she just always want to be around you.
That's when it's like
okay. Like,
but even if you're like, I'm just playing the game, is she in the back like watching YouTube videos or something? That's cool. We still spend our quality time, but you're not right up on my shoulder like back up.
That's my favorite thing.
I'm trying to play the game.
I love like being in the same space but doing my own thing. Like I don't need to be like, I don't know how to explain that. Like you just said, like we can be in the same room, but I'm kind of on my phone, you doing something else, like, but we're in the same space.
But you need the quality time though.
Breathing that same air.
Yeah.
Breathing the same air.
Breathing the same air. I'm weak.
All right. Anything else, guys? Or
when can we come on your podcast?
It's a fact.
Oh, whenever. I'm excited. I like this. You guys are like great to podcast with.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got to do this again for sure.
We definitely do because this
is lit.
Yeah, this was really I think this is definitely like one of our best ones.
To the moon.
To the moon. We going to the moon.
But all right. Thank you guys for watching. Definitely still want to give another shout out to Bre Trudell for coming on to the chat and joining us. Also, please go check out her podcast, True Talk. I will make sure that's in the description below. I would obviously put her @name under her on her picture also. That way you guys can follow her on Instagram and follow her page
in my
also.
bio. My first official episode will be there. So I just recorded it last night. So
hey.
Shout out your socials right quick. Just shout them out.
So you can follow me on Instagram. That's where I do most of my updates. It's _True Talk Podcast, TR with 3 U's, no spaces. So, and the link will be in the bio.
3 U's. All right, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Also, be looking out for. If you haven't watched it, obviously if you're watching this one, make sure you go try to watch the other episodes. Also, there will be also being a link down below. This is episode 4, and we on the move. So let's just keep this going. Please,
this is most definitely episode 5.
Is this episode 5? It's episode 5. We wilding right now. It's episode 5.
Oh well, I'll edit that. Thank y'all for tuning in to episode 5. Make sure you like, subscribe, and cut those notifications on, and then make sure you put down below in the comments. What should we be talking about next? Who do you guys think we should interview next? Or if you want to see more of Bre. Thanks, guys.